how you are going to install the latest version of JDK, that is 18, in Windows 10 operating system. And after successful installation of JDK, then we'll see how you're going to set the path to get ready for running Java programs. And we'll go with a simple example how you are going to write a program in Java and how to compile and run the Java programs. And later we discuss about variables, constants and literals. So these are today's topic. So we'll start with the installation process of JDK latest version, and I find out that the latest version of JDK is 18. So you can install any version of JDK. So I'm trying to install here the latest version. So that is JDK-18. So for that, before you are going to install, we need to download the JDK-18. Then we start installation. So I'll give you the process how you are going to download and install. So first of all, go to Google and search JDK latest version for Windows. So now you are finding that these are different URLs you are finding to download JDK, and I am trying to download this JDK latest version from the official website, that is www.oracle.com. So this is an official website for JDK installation, and I just click on this. Now you can find out that Java downloads, and here we have Java 18 and 17 are available now. So now these are different operating systems. We have Linux, Mac OS and Windows operating system. So I just gone through this Windows tab. So here you can find x64 installer. So the mean of this is, now you are going to install your JDK for 64-bit processor. So you just click on this. So I already downloaded, but I'll show you how you're going to click this link and we'll start the downloading option. So I just click on this. Now you can see, so the file is started here for downloading. So I just stop here because I already downloaded. I just show you in my download folder. So now I'm going to my download folder. I just downloaded this JDK-18 today by 3:45. So you just double click on this exe file. So I already installed. So but I will show you how it will initiate the installation. And this installation is very simple. You just double click on this and the file is going to be run in your computer, and it will show you the windows, and it will ask you, do you want to allow this app to make changes to your device? So now it will ask you to install Java Standard Edition Development Kit 18 version into your system. You just click on S. It starts installation, and it will load all the files of your JDK and it will install them. And after completion of installation, it will give you a prompt like the Java is installed completely. So I just click on no because I already installed, and I'll show you in my C drive where my JDK is installed. So this is my C drive. So by defaultly for everyone, the JDK file is going to be installed in program files. So in C drive program files, now you can find out after installing, you can find a folder like Java. So because of some reasons, I installed many of the versions of JDK, but for this I am going to use the current version for executing the Java programs. So now you can see many versions is available here. So JDK 9, 16, 18 and all these things, and you don't bother about that. So if you are installed JDK for first time in your computer, it will install this folder. right? So I already mentioned, see, now you can find this is a folder which is created today itself, that is 29/4/2022 at 3:55. So now I installed this file today, and now you can see, and these files are installed before for my own purposes. So you don't bother about this, you just install JDK-18. After successful installation of your JDK, now you can find in C folder program files, you can find out the folder JDK. Sometimes you can get JDK 18.0.1 folder directly. So you just click on this, you just open this. Now you're finding different tools like bin. It's having all the DLL and exe files which is supported for running your Java environment, and then it's having configurations, and it's having some including files, and these are the files which will be defaultly installed. Some libraries, legal files, and everything is installed in your computer. So I just minimize this. So now you're seeing that JDK is installed successfully in your computer. Then after that you can check in second way, you just click on the command mode. So just click on CMD, and now you can see the command prompt. And here simply you can type Java hyphen version. Right, simply you can type like this. Now you just click on enter. It will show you the version. So now you can see the version I am using is 18.0.1, and which it is installed in this day. So this is 18, which the current version which I am using. So a little bit later, after I am setting the path for this JDK, I will show you how you are going to set the class path. So now we are going to set JDK path in two ways for Windows 10 operating system. The one way is temporarily setting the path for JDK. So when you go for a temporary setting, so every time when you are going to run the Java programs, you need to set the path in command prompt itself. To set path, then you can provide the complete URL to reach. So every time when you create some Java program, and when you are going to run your Java programs, so you need to set the path. So in order to eliminate that, we can use the permanent path setting for JDK. So that every time when you are going to run your Java programs, you need not to set the path in command prompt. So the path is permanently set in your computer. So you can directly use your editors to write your Java program and then compile and then execute. So I will show you the second way how you are going to set the path for JDK. So I just minimize this. I close this because I don't need this. And then here, before I'm going to explain practically, I'll show you what are the steps we can follow for set up the path. So after successful installation of JDK in our system, that is of your Windows 10 operating system, we need to set the path. So for that we have to use the following steps. So first we go to control panel. So from that control panel we need to select system and security option. So from that system and security, go to a system option. So I will show you practically a little bit later. So first see the steps. So from that system window, we need to choose advanced system settings. So from that we can choose the environmental variable, and from environmental variable we are going to create a new variable to set the path. So for that you can double click on the path option which has already existed there. So it will give you a window. There you have to select a new environmental variable button, and in that place you have to copy the location to reach the bin in your JDK and in your area. and after that you just click on the OK button so that the path is permanently set for you for running your Java programs. So I will demonstrate these steps. So first of all we need to go for control panel. So just click on control panel. So now you can see here in that you can select system and security. So there we have an option like system. Now it will open for you system settings. There we have to choose advanced system settings. So here you can find environmental variable and here system variables. So these are the system variables which is set directly or indirectly by the processor. So now you can choose the path. So here you can choose the path. You can double click on this. So now here you have an option new. So I already set this JDK version so that I didn't again set, but I'll show you how you're going to set. So for that, go to a JDK folder. So here you have a bin option. You just click on this and double tap on this URL. You can find out C program files Java JDK-18.0.1/bin. So now you just copy this entire URL. Copy this entire URL and then close that window, and here you just click on new and here you can paste it, right? So now you just click on OK button. So now you can find out that your path is assigned here. So I will set for 2 times so that I will delete for 1 time. So after you are setting the path, you can find out in your path environmental variables, you can find out this path. So for this you can click on OK buttons to confirm the setting of this variable. So after this you can open your command prompt and you just click on Java C. So now you can find out all the compiler files here. So here you can find out these are different things which is available in your Java C. Suppose if Java is not, your path is not set in a proper way, it doesn't show you all these options. So it will give you like a bad command or something it will give you. So if you are getting the path is successfully installed, then only it will give you this information. And now you can see here, you can observe that what is the capability of your SE, means the addition what we are using 18, which is going to capable the previous versions like 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 and all your previous version is going to be supported by this JDK 18. So in this way you have to check whether your path is set or not. And now I'll show you how you're going to write a simple program in Java and how to compile and execute your Java files. So for basic programming, we can write your programs in Notepad. Simply you can take your Notepad and no need to install any IDEs. So for professional writing of your Java code, you can install Notepad++, Eclipse, NetBeans. So all these things you can install and you can use that IDE to write your Java programs. Because we are at the basic stage and we are at the beginning stage, so I don't make you to get confused. So here I will show you how you are going to create a sample Java program for displaying a simple string on my desktop, and by that I'll show you how you are going to compile and execute the Java programs. So for that I just open Notepad. So every system is having defaultly Notepad. So you can take class, and here I am provided my class name is capital in capital letters, initial capital letters, and my class name is example here. And we have method like public static void main. So I will explain in brief about all these things later at the concepts of class and everything. So here we just take this string like as like see, your Java programs is also executed from the main function. So here I am providing my main function in my class example. So public static void main, and here we have capital, and Java is also a case sensitive language, so that you have to take care of writing the things. So here I am given a statement like system.out.println, because in Java whatever you want to see on your desktop, you have to use in this statement. So just I want to print some string on my screen, that is a string constant, so that I'm given like this tech tutorials 2K21. So this is a simple string which I'm going to display on my monitor. I just close this. So my purpose is only printing a string. So here I just want to save this. So save as. So remember, whenever you'll create a Java program, you need to save your program name with a class name. So here my class name is example. So it doesn't allow you to give any name as your program name. You must remember always your program name, it will be a class name. And then it's having an extension .java. So which will differentiate that this is not a text file and this is a Java file. And you can see my program I'm going to save at location desktop in HTML folder. I'm going to save my file example.java. So I just save. Now you can see here, you can find out my file name example.java. I just close this and I will show you where you can find that file. So this is my desktop and this is my folder HTML. I just double click on this. Now you can see example.java, which is of type Java file and which I just created, right? So, and after that, before I'm going to execute that program, I need to set the class path. So what do you mean by a class path is, whenever I want to execute or compile a class, so my Java compiler needs to know where my classes are available. So by default, if you are not making your file to store at a specific location, so your files is going to be saved at current directory where it is working, and from that your Java compiler will recognize the class file and it will take. But here it's not possible because I'm taking a specific place. So for that I'm using cd is nothing but a change directory command, and I just go for desktop. So because I'm not at desktop, so I want to go for desktop first, so that I need to change my directory. So now you can see, before this I am at users folder and now I am at desktop. So now we know the folder is HTML where I saved my Java programs. So I'm making cd, again I want to change my directory, means I want to redirect my Java compiler to a folder HTML which is available on my desktop. So now you can observe that you are at current location at folder HTML. So simply here you can give Java C. So before I am going to execute this program, I need to compile my Java file. So for that I am using Java C as a command. So Java C is a compiler. It is a Java compiler which will take the .java file as an input and it will compile. If you have any errors, it will show you, and after rectifying those errors, again you need to compile, and after successful of compilation only, it will give you the prompt. So here I know my program name is example. dot Java. So if you didn't have any errors, it will give you the prompt. So now you can see I just compile it and I don't have any errors. Because of that I can have this prompt. Remember, whenever you are going to execute your Java programs, so you need to reach the command prompt, otherwise we cannot do. See here, I have a command prompt. From that, in this line I am going to give a command. So if this blinking arrow is not there, then I cannot give any data to my command prompt. So here, after compilation, I gave you an information yesterday. So your Java compiler, it doesn't give you an object file directly. So before that it will create a dot class file. So now that dot class file is loaded into Java virtual machine, there we have a Java interpreter which is going to take your dot class file and it will execute and it will show you the output. So here I am using a command Java which will give you the interpreter. It is not a compiler, interpreter. Remember, Java is both compiled and interpreted. After compilation, it will create a dot class file and that dot class file will take as an input for your interpreter and it will create a machine understandable code and that is going to be run by your processor. So here Java is a command for interpretation, for execution. So here I need to provide only example. So no need to give dot class extension. Even you are not given dot class extension. So your interpreter will take only the dot class files. You just give you the file name. And here my file name is example. So I just click on this. Now you can see the string tech tutorials 2K21. So this is a string which I am trying to display on my monitor. I hope you all can understand how to download and install JDK-18 in Windows 10 operating system and how to set the JDK path and class path. Remember, after setting these paths only, your Java programs are going to run. Otherwise, we can't execute the Java programs. Okay, so if you have any doubts, you just ping me in the chat box. So at the end of this session, I'm trying to give you the answers of your questions. And then we are moving on to the next topic, that is introduction of variables, constants and literals. So after completion of the streaming, I'll provide you the link for installing JDK-18. So I'll provide you that link directly. So just go through and install into your systems. So I'll minimize this. And I'll show. So whatever the operations going to be used in your program. So you have to remember this. And the syntax. And then we have a rules for giving a name to a variables as like your previous programming languages. So a variable name can consisting of capital letters, small letters, and it may be of numerical values from 0 to 9. And if you want to use any special characters, you can use underscore and dollar symbol in Java programming language for giving a name to a variables. So why I said again separately letters like capital and lower is, as like you see, Java is also a case sensitive language. So it can differentiate. And we always start the variable name with an alphabet. Simplification, we can use variable name as very short and depends on our requirement, and we have to fill with their name for what purpose we are created. So depends on that we can give you a variable name. So I'll show you the valid names for a variables. So here I'll give you an example. So you can suppose if I want to take a number is my variable, so I can give like this number. So it is allowed. So you can take initial, capital, and all this. So you can take your variable as okay. So minus is not allowed. So for this PPT, it doesn't allow me to take an underscore symbol. Are not allowed for giving a name of variables. So now we are move on to how to initialize a variables. So after declaring a variable, we need to initialize that variable. So the initialization is nothing but assign some value to a variable. So like you can see, so this is a syntax for installation of a variable like data type. You can specify the variable name and then use an assignment operator is equals to, and after that you can assign some value. So here you can see like the variable, it may be of any type like string, integer, float, character and boolean. So I'll give you a different examples how you are given a values for string, character, floating point, integer and boolean. So boolean will take two states like true or false. So either you can give true or false. So for character, you can give the character in a single quotation. For floating point, you can give a decimal values. For integers, you can give a normal integer value. And for string, you can enclosed within a double quotation, you can give a string. And these are different examples how you are going to initialize a value for a variable. So after installation, you can use that variables with along the values, and we can manipulate the variables in your program. So now we'll discuss what are the different types of variable available in Java programming language. So the place where we are declaring the variables and how far the variables are used and where the memories are allocated for the variables depends on that. In Java programming, variables are categorized into three ways. The first one is a local variable, and then we have instance variables, and then we have static variables. So we'll discuss about all these variables in brief. So at this time, I'm not given any examples to differentiate this local instance and static variables because you don't have a knowledge on writing a program in Java. So at the time of I'll start the programming, then I'll differentiate all these things like what will be the and what will be the instance variable and static variable, how you're going to take, and all these things I'm going to explain. So we'll start with the local variables. So local variables are declared in any methods or constructors or a block. So you can take a local variables. These variables can declare any user defined methods or main method in your Java or constructors in your Java, or you can take any blocks. So inside of these, the variables, if you declared, then such variables are said to be local variables. And these variables are created when the method, constructor or a block is entered. So as like your C programming language, at the time of declaration itself, the space for a memory is not allocated in your Java programming. Right? In Java, depends on the type of a variable, the Java compiler is going to reserve a memory in different areas for those variables. So now these local variables are created when method, constructor or block you entered. And these variables are destroyed after we coming out from those methods, constructors and blocks. And now we cannot use any access modifiers like public, private and protected, because we know the scope of those variables will be local. We can access inside, we cannot access outside. So for that we cannot give any access modifiers. So local variables are visible only within a declared method, constructor or a block. I already mentioned like in which constructor you are define those variables, and those variables can be visible in that constructor. It cannot access outside of the constructor. So when you create a variables, local variables, the Java compiler is going to arrange or give a memory at stacks. So at stack area, it is reserved a memory for local variables. So for local variables, we don't have any default values. So when we declare the variables, we need to assign a values before we are going to use. Otherwise, it will take a garbage values. So in order to avoid that, whenever you are using a local variables, we need to install those variables after declaration before it is going to used. And the second type of variables in Java programming is instance variables. And these instance variables are declared inside a class. So now you are creating a class. In that class, so you can create these type of variables. And outside of the methods, constructors or any block. So we cannot create such type of means the instance variables we cannot create in methods, constructors and blocks. And they can create inside of the class only. So when you create an object for your class, at that time, the memory is allocated for the instance variables in the heap area. So how many instances are created for your class, means how many objects you are going to create for your class, and that many copies of the instance variables are allocated at heap area. And these variables are created when an object is created for your class by simply using a keyword new, and this will be destroyed after the object is destroyed. Means after the life cycle of of an object is destroyed, then automatically the instance variables can also destroy. And we can provide an access modifiers for the instance variables, like we can make it as public, private, protected. So depends on that, the accessibility of this instance variables can decide. Like if you make it as private and it can access within class, if it is public, anywhere we can access. It is protected, then the child class of that parent class is going to access. So we'll discuss about this access modifiers in brief when that topic will comes. And the instance variables are visible for all the methods because you can use the instance variables like instance objects. So for that you can access all these instance variables. And for instance variables, values can be assigned by the methods or constructors. So after you are creating an instance variables for your class, and you can use your user defined methods or else the constructors to initialize the values for your variables. And instance variables is having default values. Suppose if you declared and you are not installing any values for your instance variables, so it will give you the default values. For numerical values, it will give you 0 as a default value. For strings, it will give you null as a default value. And for Boolean type, it will give you false as a default value. So this is not for local variables. And now the third type of variables are the static variables. So these static variables can also known as a class variables, which is declared by using a keyword static. Means before we are going to give you a variable name like int age. Suppose this is my variable name age. So I can use static int age. So now I make that age is of type static, and whenever you can declare a variable as static, it can create only one copy of memory for that static variable. And all the instances all the objects of your Java class is going to access only that single copy. So, and memory for the static variable is allocated when a class is loaded. Right? So, this is not at created, the memory is not at allocated at heap area or a stack area. Instead of that, when a class is loaded into a Java virtual machine, so now the memory for this static variables are created and it will create only one copy. The mean of that, suppose if you are taken an instance variables, you created 3 objects, the same variable it is getting 3 copies because every object is having their own copy. Whereas the static variables, it doesn't create a multiple copies. It can create only one copy of that variable, and that variable is going to access by all the objects of the classes. So means suppose you are creating 3 objects for your class. So now that 3 objects is going to access the same memory location. So that is the concept of static variable. So we cannot access the static variables as like your instance variables. If you want to access the static variables, we can give class name as a reference. So now you can provide your variable name. In that way, you are going to access the static variables from Java program. So static variables are created when class is loaded and it is destroyed when program will stop. So whenever you want to make something as common to all the objects, suppose you can take one application of organization and you want to make an information of different students, and these all students is coming from the same organization. So I don't keep a different records for storing college name or an organization name. I can simply take my organization name as a static variable, and I can use all my student object is going to access the common area will get the organization name. So that is the purpose of a static variable in Java programming language. And the next concept is constants. So as like your previous programs, constant is having a same definition in Java programming also. So like the constants is also a name given to a variables whose values cannot be changed, right? Once it can be assigned. So as like a variables, your constant values are never changed during execution of the program. So now we have to differentiate the ordinary variable with a constant variable in Java program. So in Java program, the constants can be created by using static and final keywords. So we can use a static keyword for creating a constant variable, or else we can use a final keyword for making something as a constant in your Java program. So we can use the combination of static and final, and you can provide your data type, and then you can provide your constant variable name and some value. See for example here, static, final, and here my data type is double and my constant name is price. So you want to use the constant name with the capital letters. So all with capital letters, which will make the differentiation of your variable name and the constant name. And you can use the combination of both static and final because so whenever you can make something as constant, and when you have a multiple objects or instances to your class, and then it is going to access the same location multiple times. So you need to create a multiple copies. So in order to avoid that, we can make the constant is also of type static, so that it will create only one copy. So the same memory location is going to be shared by all the instances or all the objects of the class. So because of that reason, we are going to create the constants in Java by simply the combination of static and final with the final keyword of your constant. So then the last topic can give true or false. So then this is my Boolean literals. So literal simply is nothing but a constants which is directly available in your Java program. So these are different types of literals. I hope you enjoyed today. Just go through and fill it for today attendance. So I'll post it in live session. And I'll wait for 5 minutes in live session. If anyone is having doubts, you just type your doubts in live chat. So then this is my Boolean literals. So letter simply is nothing but a constant which is directly available in your